Pack a bowl, my friend, and don't forget to pass that blend. Pack it up, my friend, and then we'll light up and we'll smoke in the ashes in the end. Pack a bowl, my friend. Pass me that blend, would you? Welcome back in, y'all. It is good to see you here on Sunday. Today is November 8th or 9th. I don't know. Oh, it's the 10th. Well, there you go. I lose track sometimes, y'all. But it is Sunday. I know that. The weekend. I know that. Good stuff right there. Been a couple weeks. Like I said, I would check in every 2 weeks at least. And we're going to go over the tamper that I made. I took some time out to do that and talk about it. Got some videos to show you all. And then we'll give that away. We'll talk about how we chose to put people's names in the hat, and then I will spin the spinner. What is the name of that thing? Either way, we'll spin the wheel and get that given away to the winner. But y'all, I'm smoking my this is my Rossi poker pipe, and yeah, as you all know, I am partial to the pokers, and this one's a good one. Highly rusticated, rather large bowl. I think it's basically a 311. I don't know if it says 311 or not. I can't read that. Either way, it's briar, vulcanized stem, and just the smallest of silver bands around it. Good stuff. And yeah, I like them. In the pipe is Haunted Bookshop. Let me get that lit up. Yes, sir. That's good stuff. Drinking coffee with a little bit of cream in it. Black Rifle coffee, y'all. I like it. All right, so I got some video to show you. I meant to get out in the garage last week and get my lathe set up and turn that piece that we had talked about into a tamper, but that didn't work out. Things sometimes, y'all, we have good intentions, but they only go so far sometimes. So either way, I forced myself. Sometimes I call it pushing. You got to push yourself sometimes, y'all. I pushed myself to make time and get out there this weekend and take care of that. And I did, because I told y'all I would. It turned out nice. I like it. Someday I need to make myself one. Everything I make, I basically give it away. And but I'll make something for myself. Something real nice someday. And we're going to go over that here in just a second, y'all. God dang it. One thing I do not like, y'all, is when a lighter does not light up when I want it to light up. I hope everybody's having a good day today, good weekend. But all right, let's get in to talking about this tamper. So here I got some videos, y'all. One or two of them's really long, so I may just talk over them. I chose not to do any sound in these just because the lathe, when it's turning, can be quite loud and possibly could be annoying on the video. So I've got the sound turned down on this one. But I've got this little video showing up right now. And what I've done is I have the piece that we talked about. And I'm going to go ahead and X in the middle of this thing to find my center line so I can chuck it up on my lathe. And so I just use any old straight edge that I can find and go from corner to corner and draw a line. Both ways, so the middle of the X, as they say, X marks the spot, right? So that's what we're doing there. And that's basically what this video kind of shows you what's going on. And then I'll get it chucked. I drill 2 holes in it, a smaller hole on one side, a larger hole on the other one, so it will chuck up in my lathe. And I do that, I think I do that off camera. Yeah, I do. But it's just drilling, y'all. It's just, that's a boring part. Y'all have drilled. Y'all know how to do that. But this next video, I basically got it chucked up right here, as you can see. And got everything set up. I got my tool guide right here set up. Everything's ready to go. And I usually start out with a round bit chisel. And that's what we'll start out with right there. I chose a 38 special shell, mainly, y'all, because I didn't have any 45s. And I didn't want to waste any good. I only have defense ammo right now for my 45, and I didn't want to pop off a good defense round because those are expensive if you all have bought defense rounds before. But I had some 38 special laying in my bag from when I go to the range, and I just chose to use that. It's good. It works. It's perfect. Not too big, not too small when it comes to tamping. But right here, I'm going to show you how I start rounding off this square piece of acrylic. And we'll let that, it takes some time to get it to round. You can't rush these things. If you rush, you stand the chance of nicking the acrylic. It could possibly explode on you if you push too hard. So you got to be a little patient. Sometimes, patience is a virtue, as they say. And I try my best to be as patient as possible because I get excited. I want to see how it's happening, what's going on, how it's turning out. And when it's spinning on the lathe, you can't quite tell that. So I stop it quite often to check the progress of the piece that I'm turning. So that's what we're doing right here. We're just starting to get it rounded out before we set up the place for the tamper end and then do a little artwork. And in the end, of course, put the dowel pick in place. This can be a little boring. I realize some of you will probably skip through this video, and I understand that. So I won't bore you too much longer with this part. I think it goes out another 2 minutes. And I think in the end I'll stop it, and it's still not quite round. Let's get it stopped here, yeah. So right there you can see it's basically starting to get round at the end of this video. Get into another one. I actually, off camera, decided to go ahead and round it out. pretty much all the way to the end of the stock where I'm not going to be using it. That's kind of stays square right there. Um, this is turned out to be a rather long tamper, longer than something you would normally keep in your tobacco pouch or case or take with you. Something like this fits in your pocket. This one here that I made, this would be more for something you would want to go ahead and put on, say your coffee table, wherever it is you're smoking, your favorite place to smoke, and it kind of will just sit there until you need it, and uh, I mean, you could take it out and about. That's up to you. It'll fit in your pocket um, just fine. Probably fit in your tobacco carrying case, your wrap, whatever it is you use on a daily basis. As I turn this acrylic, it starts to make a big mess. Just tons of material coming off, flying, just all over the lathe right there. Um, there's sometimes when I get impatient and I really press down on my tool right there, and you'll just start to see it fly off the piece of acrylic that I'm using. And sometimes so much of it flies off, I have to stop and kind of clean what I'm doing there before I go on. And you'll see some of that. So as it gets round, bigger, larger ribbons, we'll call it, of acrylic starts to peel off of this block. And like I said, I do use a round bit chisel on this portion of it, rounding it off. I found it works the best for this acrylic when you're just trying to get it from square to round. The nice thing about round too is no matter where you use the chisel, you've got a cutting edge versus if you're using a square bit or a diamond bit or a half moon bit, whatever. Um, this one here gives you, I'd say about a 180 cutting surface to use to cut the acrylic or wood or whatever it is you got on the lathe. By the time I get done, there'll just be shavings all over the place. Now I'm just checking it out right here, kind of looking at the characteristics coming out, seeing those lines start to appear in the project here, and kind of starts to take on its own little look. Um, and I'm just inspecting to see, because as you start to shave that block down, you lose certain aspects. So you look at it and you think, man, it's looking good. And then you shave some more, and then all of a sudden, oh man, that nice little spot it looked really nice. Uh, I just shaved it out. But that's what happens. You don't want it too big. You don't want it too small. I don't want it the size of a pencil. I don't want it the size of a pool cue. You want it just right to fit in the hand. So when you're tamping, everything's good to go. It's all part of the pipe experience, y'all. The tobacco, the pipe, the tamper, the dottle pick, everything you're using, your wrap, it's all part of the experience when you're smoking a pipe. But sometimes when you're out and about, like myself, shit, y'all, I use my finger sometimes. Use my finger, tamp it down. Yeah, it gets hot sometimes. And a couple times I cuss and say ouch, but that happens. Especially when I'm in the truck. I'm in the truck and I'm just driving, and if I feel the need to tamp, I will just take my hands off the steering wheel and just reach up, tamp a little bit, and come back. Um, I ain't got time to look for a tamper while I'm in the truck, while I'm driving. So in that case, I know some people, I mean, you can use almost anything you want for a tamper, right? People use a nail head, um, a piece of wood. I mean, you name it. If it'll fit down the pipe and it's got a decently flat surface on it, you can tamp with it. So, but it's nice to have these um, nice tampers, artistic tampers. There's all kinds of tampers out there: pewter tampers, steel tampers, porcelain tampers, acrylic that I'm using here, um, on and on and on. So it's nice to have a nice little tamper laying around to use when you need it. So I'm still inspecting it right here. Um, I think the majority of the characteristics in the tampers basically staying in place, so I'm happy about that. Here pretty soon I'm going to go ahead and take my micrometer and I measure the interior circumference of the shell that we're going to attach to this tamper. And once I got that measured all out, I'm going to go ahead and set this thing up so as I turn it down to accept the shell, uh, I'll know where to stop turning because I've turned too far and kind of had to fill up that area with acrylic, and that's fine. But when you turn it just right and that end piece or end cap or whatever I'm using just slides on there nice and tight, that's good stuff right there, and that's what you want. And that's basically what we got here at the end of this project. So that's where I'm at right now on this part of the project. I am turning down the area to accept the end cap or the 38 special round, spent round shell that I put on the bottom of this tamper. And like I said, this video right here, yeah, this video goes about 40 minutes long. So I'll try and skip ahead a little bit and we'll watch little portions of it. I'm getting it smaller and smaller right here. And then from time to time, I'll check with my micrometer to make sure I'm staying, um, close to that thickness that I need there at the bottom. And then right here, I changed from a round bit to a square tip bit so I can make that end portion nice and flush. Uh, so when the round slides on there, it looks almost seamless, I suppose. So right there, I'm measuring to make sure it's going to be good. I don't want it too tight. I don't want it too loose. So here's where it starts to get a little touchy. I got to take a little bit off at a time until it fits just right. So I'll shave just small amounts off at the bottom here. Small amounts, and then I'll stop. I'll check it again. There we go. We're checking it again, making sure. See how that micrometer just slides down on there? Nice and tight. taking little bits off at a time. So right here, I suppose I'm going to go ahead and take it off, and I'm going to test fit that shell on the end. And it was very tight, y'all. Very tight, but it worked out just fine. Didn't quite slide all the way up to the very end like I wanted to, because it was a little on the tight side, but I'd rather have it tight than too loose. The person who gets this tamper, I don't want it coming off on them. So that's just one of the compromises I had to make. And in the very end, I tamp it down real strong, and it's not coming off. I'm telling you right now. I didn't even have to use epoxy to keep it in place. So I've decided that the shell is going to fit just fine on the end. And now I need to go ahead and start thinking about a little bit of artistic things that I'll do on the main shank of the tamper itself. So I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I think right here I needed just a tad bit more cleaned up on the end. All right, let's skip forward just a little bit. Yep, all right. Right here I've got my diamond tip out. And the diamond tip's gonna let me put little lines in it, artistic gouges. I don't know what you want to call it. And there's no rhyme or reason to this. I just look at a spot and think, well, that'd be a good spot to put something artistic in that place. I did make some bulbous areas, put some lines in there. But in the end, the characteristics of the acrylic, I really didn't want to mess with a certain spot of it. If you look where the large amount of yellow is there towards the uh, top side of the tamper, I didn't want to line that up or do anything weird with it because it had some really good characteristics there, looked really nice. So I left that portion alone. Right here, I'm going to sand it. Um, as you are using your tools, you'll leave little gouges and lines and things of that nature in the acrylic. And the sanding helps to take those little, um, let's call them imperfections, take those out. So getting in those little deep crevices and things of that nature, getting that all sanded out. Let's move on a little bit more. I'm sanding some more on this. And now I've decided to move over to a very fine nail file is what it is. And do some fine sanding on it to start to bring out the shine in that acrylic. And right here, I guess I've got it unchucked, and I'm gonna show you a little bit about it. I suppose yeah, there it is. I'm gonna put it at the camera. We'll show you a little bit. Now see that nice, almost like an X right there in the main shank, the main body of the yellow where it meets the red. I didn't really want to mess with that characteristic, um, so I left that portion alone. Now I'm pressing that round on. I believe this is the last press on that. I also beat it down on my table a little bit to make sure she's nice and tight. Um, I think I'm going right now. I'm going to test this thing out. I think I grabbed my pipe right here. Yes, I do. So I grabbed the pipe. I'm going to light it up. And I'm going to be the first one to use this. Sorry, but I got to test it. Yep. And she works just fine. Works good. Works nice. So let's go on to the next video. Well, I may not have another video. So in between this video and I believe the next couple pictures, I went ahead and I drilled a hole in the very top of this thing. I also cut off the very top, sanded it, made it look nice in preparation to get the dowel pick. So the dowel pick, I had to drill that hole through it to accept the dowel pick. Not too loose, not too tight. You want that dowel pick to stay in there when you're not using it, but when you pull on it, you want it to come out, with little or no effort. So right here is a picture of me almost done with it. I'm not completely done with it, but it's almost done. Let's pull this up a little bit more so you can see it. So nice characteristics in there. Like I said, that wine burgundy red look along with the yellow swirling through there. Looks very interesting. Looks very nice. I do like the acrylics when they have this color combination. Here is another picture. Now this picture basically shows you, I did a little more shining on it, but this is basically the end product right here, y'all. Let's make it a little bit bigger and let you get in there and see it. Now I do realize that my dowel pick up here, it's silver, chrome, whatever. And of course, my spent round down here is a brass color. So do they match? No, they don't. But all the little different colors going on together, they all look good together. I had a silver chrome, whatever you want to call it, 45 round that I could have spent, like I said, and would it have looked better on here? Most likely. But with the price of ammo nowadays, y'all, um, that's something you have to be a little choosy on right there. And like I said, all I had was defense rounds, and you buy a box of 20 defense rounds, and they're quite expensive. Now defense rounds, for those of you that don't understand, you do have rounds that you just go to the range, and they're called plinking rounds. You just fire them at the range all day long, not a big deal. Those normally come with a brass shell. Your defense rounds, these are rounds that have more powder in them, more grain. So let's just say there's more kick in them. Uh, and of course, if you're defending your life, you want to know that it's going to kick pretty good. Take care of business, so to speak. And um, so those rounds, also the lead or the ball end of the round is going to be either a twisted round. It's going to be um, hollow point, X'd out. Who knows? There's a number of different styles of defense rounds out there, and they're pretty lethal. So, like I said, because of that, they cost more money, and I didn't use that. But this 38 special round that we have on here works out just fine, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with all the different colors that we got going on in this tamper. Now, I think we're going to go ahead. I think that's it. Yeah, that would be it. So we're going to get back on out here, y'all. I'm going to show you the finished product, and then we're going to go over back to my video where I decided to use the people that commented on a color to put their names in the hat. We're going to go back over their names real quick just so we can refresh our memories of who will be in the hat. And then we'll go to the wheel after we've assigned everybody a number, and we will spin that and we'll give it away. So either way, let's start off here and get to the I'll show you. Let me get rid of this. There we go. Then we have this. Get rid of that. Anyways, so this is the finished product. I really like it. I wish I could keep it for myself. But that's not what we do here. We give it away. That's what we do. So here it is. Let's see if I can. Got a lot of nice characteristics going on in this piece. Looks really good. 38 special. I doubt you can tell. It's not going to show you. It's not going to zoom in, but it is a 38 special round. It says at the bottom, and it is a spent round. You'll notice from the dent on the blasting cap. So you don't have to worry about using this and having it go off or something. Not going to happen, y'all. For those of you that maybe are not familiar with how a ammunition round works. So this one is, we'll call it dead. We'll call it a dummy, whatever. It's a spent round. Spent round meaning I've used it. It's done, over, finito. Good to go. But so a lot of good characteristics in this thing. We have the dottle pick right here. It is a little hard to come out, but that should get better as time goes on. It's kind of short. It is not much shorter than your normal dottle pick. Works just fine though. So you can use it, as everybody knows, dottle pick, it'll still fit in. Probably a Canadian or a billiard that's has a really long shank. This will probably be pushing it. So I do apologize for that portion. But most of your pipes, this is going to work. It's going to work in here, take care of business there, work in the shank, clean out the draw hole, good to go there. So I chose to use the bald knob end on it. I think that looks just fine. In hindsight, y'all, you know what? Just for the hell of it, I'm going to send the winner the hammerhead too. So it's your choice. You can keep the bald knob in it, like this. or you can put a hammerhead in it. Let's do that. So here's the hammerhead. And you can put the hammerhead in it. Now, I haven't cut this one down. So like that, it would just look way too long. And that being said, I think I'll let you do that. If you're handy with some tools, you've got a really strong pair of wire cutters, that will do it. You're really going to have to crimp down on these dudes to get that to happen, and then just take a small file and clean it off real nice so it doesn't scar up the inside of your pipe. But you choose. So there you go. There's part of the end finished product that you get to be involved in, or maybe you just choose to keep it like this on your table. That's up to you. That's up to you. I'll leave that up to you. So you're going to have the hammerhead that you can play with, and then you're going to have the bald knob, which I've already cut down and made for the tamper. So we're going to, there you go. Looks good. Along with the hammerhead, we'll give you that. And you'll be able to set that on your end table, your coffee table, wherever your favorite smoking spot is, and tamp away when you need to. Let's get on out to the video though, and let's remind ourselves of who it was that commented. Later on, I chose to use the comments as those that would go in the hat. Let's write those down. We'll assign those in a name, a number for each name. Do this. Okay. So the way I'm going to do this is the number one comment will be number one, and so on and so forth, all the way down to the end. So it says here I have 11 comments. However, that doesn't mean everybody commented. Let's get some piece of paper here. We'll write these names down. Put my coffee aside, make room. Let's just use this. Yeah. No. Let's see the back side of this. I have some junk mail here that I'm just going to use the back of the envelope. We'll just do that. Here on my desk. All right, so number one. All right, so number one in the comments, that would be the first person who commented, or however YouTube arranges it. I didn't arrange it, y'all. But that would be Mr. Frank Danone. He came in and said that he liked brown, although we didn't use brown. But he did comment. So Mr. Frank Danone is number one. I'm just going to put down Frank. Okay, Mr. Frank is number one. Number two would be Mr. D. Hicks, otherwise known as Danny. He says red is nice. So there you go. Mr. Danny got his wish when it comes to color. So I'm going to put down Danny for number two. Number three, Mr. Dennis Albers, and comes in the white one. So he did comment. We didn't use white. That's fine. Mr. Dennis goes in the drawing as number three. Mr. Dennis. Mr. Dennis Albers. Okay, Mr. Schleppy. Now, Mr. Schleppy's kind of special on this channel, y'all. I don't know, 1.5, 2 years ago, when I first started giving things away, Mr. Schleppy was the very first winner of an item that I gave away. And I believe that was a pipe rest, the new crown style that I started making. Yeah. And he commented the red color. Well, there you go. So Mr. Schleppy, number 4, and red is what he will possibly get. So Schleppy. Okay, Mr. Schleppy is number 4. Mr. Michael Morrison comes in and says, I like earthly tones. Well, I do too, sir. So brown, but he did comment on a color, but he's in. I hope you don't mind red if you win, sir. um, Not really an earth tone unless you're in Sedona or Arizona looking at some of those red rocks, Colorado. Um, so Mr. Michael Morrison, we're just going to put Mike M. Okay, Mr. Michael Morrison is number 5. Mr. Robo Stevo, my fellow Texan here to the south of us, he says white, and he wanted a hammer doodle. Well, there you go. So Mr. Robo Stevo is number 6. All right, then the next one we have is the tunnel take. That would be, he said red. Well, there you go. Greg Tunnel will be number 7. So Tunnel. Okay, there you go, Mr. Tunnel. Mr. Greg Tunnel. If you all watch his channel too, he has a channel. Is number 7. Youssef Saeed, our good friend in South Africa. He comes in and says the orange looks nice, but he would prefer red. Well, there you go. Red is what we did. Mr. Youssef at number 8. Mr. Youssef. Okay. So number 8 is Mr. Youssef Saeed. Piper X1X comes in and says he likes brown. So there you go. And he says, but red is also my choice. So there you go. Red, good to go. Number 9 is Piper X1X. All right, and the Welsh Piper chimes in here and says orange. There you go. He did comment, even though it's red, that would be the Welsh Piper. Okay, and last but not least, the stovepipe, 1863. I'd pick the white or orange. Said he just flipped the coin, orange won. Well, red's kind of in the orange spectrum. There you go, Mr. Piper. Stovepipe 8. Number 11. It's going to be Stovepipe 1863. Okay, do it that way. All right, so let's refresh our memories so you can, when we go ahead and bring up, let me bring it up right now. That would be right here. That is called the random number generator. So I have nothing to do with this. This thing, once we spin it, it lands wherever it wants to land, y'all. It's got 6 already on it default, but we need 11. So let's go ahead and fix this thing up for 11. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have complete 11. Number 1, remember Mr. Frank Dananane. Number 2 is D. Hicks, Danny. Number 3 is Dennis Alberts. Number 4, Mr. Schleppy. Number 5, Michael Morrison. Number 6, Robo Stevo. Number 7, Greg Tunnel. Number 8, Youssef Saeed. Number 9 is Piper X1X. Number 10 is the Welsh Piper. And number 11 is Stovepipe 1863. So I've written them all down right there, y'all. Just so you know. And then we'll click this thing. Well, I need to add segments. Hold on here. Okay, there they are. Yep, we have 11. We have 1 through 11 right there, as y'all can see. And we'll click that just momentarily and let it land wherever it lands, and that person will win. Now, when you win, You have a choice. Maybe you don't want it. Maybe you just want to be nice and comment. That's fine. I appreciate that. If you don't want it, perfectly fine. Just let me know in the email and I'll give it away to someone else. Completely fine. I understand. But if you do want it, go ahead and email me. My email will be down in below the video. Email me and let me know your address of where you want it sent. I don't care where you want me to send it. Your house, your work, your grandma's address. I don't care. P.O. box. Just tell me where you want it sent and I will send it to you. Be snail mail. It's not going to be UPS or FedEx, y'all. So, if it's in the United States, it usually takes 2, 3 days, uh, to get from Texas to wherever. So it's not too bad. But I did have fun making this project, y'all, and I really hope the winner enjoys it. Whether you carry it in your pocket, I highly doubt it. Maybe you do. Maybe you keep it in your vehicle. Maybe, but either way, in your favorite spot to smoke, um, and then use it when you need to use it, as tampers are meant to be. All right, so let's get to, it says here to click to spin. I'm simply going to put my arrow in the middle there, and we're going to click the mouse, and it should spin and land where it needs to land, y'all. Um, so let's do that. Here we go. Hands right here. And that would be number 4, as y'all can see. Holy shit. That's amazing to me. So that would, if you're keeping track of your numbers, y'all, number 4 would be Mr. Schleppy there to the west of us in the United States. I happen to remember where he comes from. But so Mr. Schleppy, y'all, look there, number 4. Mr. Schleppy won. So go ahead and send me an email, Mr. Schleppy, and go ahead and give me your address again. I could probably look through my old emails and probably find it because I don't erase those emails. But give me your address again of where you'd like it sent. Maybe you've moved since last time. I don't know. And we'll send it out to you. Y'all, thanks for playing with me and watching the video and how it's all done, all that good stuff. Um, I definitely, like I said, enjoyed making the product. I enjoy just about everything I do, y'all. Um, the creative process of when you start with just a blank piece of something, whether it's a blank piece of leather, material, in this case, a blank block of acrylic, and turning it into something that can be used, something um, that is needed and looks good. And I like, I got to be creative. I got to have some fun. And like I said, in most people's hobbies, even though they had a great day doing their hobby, in the end, they don't have nothing to show for it. Well, I do in this case. And I'm able to take that fun and pass it on to someone else who would like it and can use it, in this case, in their pipe smoking adventures. But that being said, y'all, this video did run kind of long. It's almost 50 minutes here. Um, I hope y'all had a good week. This last week was kind of crazy because of our elections. I hope it turned out the way you wanted it to turn out. Um, if it didn't, just understand that every time we've had a leader of this country, um, it may not have been what you wanted. Certainly hasn't been what I wanted in certain past presidents. But the sun still shines, the birds still sing, y'all. Coffee still tastes good in the morning, and definitely smoke still does you well. Um, and we'll get through it. Now's the time for the country to heal, um, and for us to live on like we should. Um, if the election did go your way, well then congratulations. Um, I'm going to be honest with you, y'all. It did go my way. I did vote for Mr. Trump, um, and I certainly hope that he comes true with his promises and does what he has promised to do, uh, for the most part. But either way, y'all, thanks for watching the video. I appreciate your time each and every time. Um, and I hope life treats you as good as it possibly can. You know what I mean when I say that, y'all. And until next week or whenever we get back on here, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you. Pack a bowl, my friend, and don't forget to pass that blend. Pack it up, my friend, and then we'll ride up and we'll smoke in the ashes in the end. Pack a bowl, my friend. Pass me that blend, would you?